Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your end of May 2022 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I've been, even though I shuffle these cards, I got like some. Oh, it's funny because I was doing this for Taurus, and I wonder if you are the swords that they got. It's kind of interesting. It's like a mirror reading in a sense. Okay, well, that's nice. So the heart of the matter is the King of Swords. You are connected to swords, being an air sign. And it's that idea of utter detachment. I think that that's kind of the standard reaction of a Gemini person if they allow themselves to get too close to somebody and there are problems. And especially if you have inner planets in Cancer, which is a sign adjacent to you, there can be that sense of real emotional devotion and attachment and sentimentality, which kind of glosses over some of the negative things and just kind of highlights all of the great times that you've had with that person, but it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. So this can be, let me go to the past position to kind of tell the story here. We have the Two of Cups. This is a card of commitment or reuniting with someone. This is during the Mercury retrograde, so these kinds of things can definitely be in play. And your ruler Mercury is going into the 12th house on the 22nd of the month. And what that can do is bring up issues that are deep beneath the surface and that, really are quite, how would I put it? Very, very like, maybe kind of a karmic influence or something like that. And it's hard to put your finger on. It's underneath the surface. It's the unconscious mind. And I feel like with the Two of Cups, any kind of, like if somebody is asking you to commit, you might be feeling uncomfortable because but you don't know how, you don't know why, and with Mercury transiting through that 12th house, it can muck things up even more so because the 12th house is kind of this mixture of fantasy and reality. I mean, but the reality is like multidimensional. It's not exactly a very grounded type of way of thinking with Mercury in the 12th. So there can be, it's like kind of like not knowing what is fact or fiction or the dream state or reality, the waking dream, if you will. So yeah, so look for issues around reunion or commitment and what is your natural reaction to that? Do you just kind of like go into detachment mode and you're not really being present with your emotions or in touch with your emotions? But also I see here as a higher message the Page of Swords. So perhaps if you have been dealing with, now this would have been in the past, so you would know whether this is true, your beloved going with somebody else, and I suppose that could be the case. And the Page of Swords can be this idea of, finding out what is fact or fiction about that. So this is kind of the spy card, the card about somebody who's being very vigilant. And I feel like that's important too if you are reuniting with somebody from your past, because there was a reason why you broke up in the first place. And sometimes the other person may not be very, above board and nothing has changed. Maybe, you're just seeing them in a good light because so much time has gone, has elapsed or, gone by. I was thinking about that saying when they say time heals all wounds. And, people joke and say time wounds all heals, which is kind of funny. What crosses you is a page of Pentacles, and this, again, with pages being messages in Mercury retrograde, this can be, oh yeah, this is another thing too that I wanted to mention as it pertains to like professional matters, because this could be the check getting lost in the mail. This can be the message of work. If this is a card, if the King of Swords is something to do with work, you may be, and you have been on and off again with a company, then you can feel this sense of like something isn't right. It seems like there's always something that goes awry. Because some people I know, ever since the shutdown, have been kind of, I don't know what they call it, like on furlough or something like that, and then they get rehired. But it's like back and forth. And so I see the Two of Cups as that kind of reunion. But then it's like with the Page of Swords, it's that suspicion that this is just like you're just being jerked around. Maybe you're looking for something permanent, but you're not getting it. And that's what I see with the Page of Pentacles, which can be the beginning stages of something, but this could be work related, and yet it's not happening. Last two cards are like really awesome. What's coming in? Wheel of Fortune. And this is the card of aligning with good things, coming to you. This is a card connected to Jupiter. And this card, because it is connected to Jupiter, is also connected to travel. And you actually have Jupiter transiting had Jupiter transiting your 9th house a while back. Now Jupiter is in Aries, and so it is in your 11th house in, is it June or July? I think it's the end of July. It's going to go back. It's going to retrograde and eventually go back into your 10th house. So Jupiter is in your 11th house, which is all about hopes and wishes and things like that. It's the house of gains, so financially from your career. And I that last piece, I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with the transit of Jupiter into Aries now, because the outcome card is the 10 of Pentacles, and this is the card of affluence and, attainment financially. And this, I feel like this can be because of things that are gelling for you professionally, because you did, you are going to have Jupiter, revisiting there. And even when Jupiter goes retrograde in your 10th house, that can give you opportunities that you missed the first time around. So the bottom line is that I feel like for some of you, maybe this has to do with new employment. You did have, you are going to have your new moon at the end of the month while Mercury is retrograde, but by the 3rd week in June, Gemini, you will have your ruler Mercury out of its shadow and all the planets direct for a push forward for probably about at least a month and a half. And you'll start having you'll have at the end of June, a new moon in your 2nd house of earned income. So that'll be nice. So I think there'll be this, if the end of May feels a little bit messy, I think that some of these cards may be speaking to June energy perhaps, because the last two cards are really great for that. So I hope that this resonated. And if you'd like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.